What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be doing a deep dive on all of the new units that are coming out in the 7th anniversary. We're going to go ahead and look at the details for all of the different cards. That way you guys know what you'll be summoning for. We are going to take a look at some of the EZA, the cards that are getting EZAs that are available on some of these 7th anniversary banners as well. Just so that you guys are aware of all of the new hype units that are coming. And just how good they are. That way you guys can get the most value for your stones, and you know exactly where you want to spend them during the anniversary. So we are going to start out here with the LR Gods banner. So there's only a few units that we're going to be talking about here. Obviously the two new units, and then the physical Vegeta here is getting an EZA as well. By the way, I did want to mention really quick, if you are looking for a more in-depth guide about all of the tickets and different things like that, and the differences between the different banners, and when they're going to be coming, I made a another video that I will link in the description for you guys. It is the 7th anniversary summon guide video, so you can get all of that information over there. This one is going to be much more focused on the details of the units themselves. So let's go ahead and get started here. We will look at the LR Gods first. So they are bringing another 200% leader skill into the game, Kamehameha, which is absolutely amazing. One of the best leader skills in the game for sure, if not the best. With this Beyond Super Saiyan category being introduced, this is basically everything beyond Super Saiyan 1. So it's Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4 God. Basically, is anything that's a 2, 3, 4 or God is going to be on this category. So as you can imagine, that's most of the best units in the game. So definitely a very, very strong leader skill there. Okay, so they raise attack and defense on both their 12 key and 18 key super. They've got a little entrance animation there, which is nice. Okay, so they guard. They are going to be getting 77% stats for the first 7 turns, and then they get attack and defense 120% per type key sphere obtained. So basically what that means is they're going to be one-shotting like everything except for the hard red zone bosses. They are going to have an absolutely insane amount of attack and defense after they select orbs. So they are going to be looking very, very impressive there, especially with these stat raises that they get on Super as well. So they're also going to be getting crit chance with Rainbow Key Spheres obtained, which is nice. They have guaranteed additional built in when key is at 20 or more, which I don't imagine is going to be too difficult for them because they're also getting the additional 1 key per type key sphere obtained. So that is very, very good. And then their attacks are effective against all with key 24, which again should not be too difficult for them to achieve. So they are going to be hitting insanely hard. They're going to be getting attacks effective a lot of the time, and these guaranteed additional supers, they are just absolutely busted. And obviously with the guaranteed additional, they're going to get these guaranteed double stat raises as well, so their defense is going to be looking even better after that. So they have an active skill transformation here that you can activate. It's just a turn 4 activation, so very, very good activation skill. There's no like HP restriction or anything like that. So once you activate it, they are going to turn into the Super Saiyan Gods, the Super Saiyan Blues, excuse me. So once they transform, they're going to be getting great raises on their 12 key and massive raises on their 18 key. Their 18 key also has this cool little ability, disables enemies' actions once within the turn. So this is like a mini Ghost Usher. It doesn't work quite the same as like the Tech Android 17 and 18, because what that will do is they will basically Ghost Usher an entire enemy for that turn. Like one of the enemies if you're fighting multiple. What this is going to do is just take one enemy's single attack. So basically if one enemy is attacking you like 2 or 3 times, let's say they're attacking 3 times, then this is going to take off the first attack and they'll only be attacking you 2 times. So it's like a mini Ghost Usher, right? but still can be very, very useful. You can avoid getting like super attacked if you have a scouter up and it works out for you. So that is very good. There's also going to be some interesting pairing that we will talk about with this in a few minutes when we get to the other cards, because this is not the only unit that has this ability. So that is going to be an interesting thing to consider. Okay, so they are going to be getting 177% stats at the start of turn, and 2 additional key per key sphere obtained. Okay. So then they're getting crit chance and evasion chance 7% with each rainbow orb. Attacks effective when key is 16 or more. So instead of having a full 24 key, they only have to be at 16 or more. So they're basically always going to be attacks effective against all types at that point. They keep the additional super attack at key 20. They have an automatic medium chance to crit and an automatic medium chance to evade. So basically, they just do everything. This unit is absolutely insane. It's obvious why they are the best unit in the game. I cannot wait to pull them. We're going to have so much fun using them. So then they've also got another active skill here. Once you get their transformation, then you are able to get the fusion here. That's going to turn them into Vegito. And with that fusion, they are it can be activated when HP is 50% or less when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. Okay, can be activated when HP is 50% or less, or when facing an enemy who's 50% or less. Okay, got it. That makes sense. So that is going to be a very, very easy restriction to manage, especially in some of the harder game modes coming out, some of those harder red zone stages. You're definitely going to be going below 50% HP. Believe me, you will. So yeah, this card is absolutely insane. Definitely can't wait to use them. Okay, so moving on here to the banner unit on their banner, we've got this Broly here. So he raises attack and defense on super. He does supreme damage, which is expected. Okay, so he's got 180% stats at the start of turn, and then he gets an additional 80% when performing a super attack. So, as I'm sure you guys know, when units have this, when they do the stat raises on super attack, those stats hit a lot harder because these get calculated in after everything else. So these start of turn stats are only buffing the base stats that they have right here on their kit, but the on super attack ones are going to also include anything that they're getting from link skills, anything that they're getting from their super attack effect, anything that they're getting from like other passives from other units that are like, you know, if there's another unit that has like a 30% attack for all units on the rotation, then all of that stuff is going to be added in there as well. So this 80% raise, depending what kind of rotation you have them on, is going to end up being a lot more than 80%. So with a baseline of 180% and then moving into the additional 80, that is going to be insane. They're going to be putting out really, really good damage, and they'll have some pretty good defense, though keep in mind their base defense stat is really low there. 8,000 is definitely not that high. So they're going to have some balanced defense. Definitely not insane defense, but their damage is going to be looking really good. And they also get an additional super when you collect 6 or more key spheres, which is nice, because they raise attack and defense, so they'll get those additional raises as well. And their attacks effective when attacking an enemy whose HP is 80% or less. Okay, so that's most of the time, right? So not turn 1, but basically every turn after that, you're going to be dealing attacks effective against all types. So that is perfect. And then they've got this little HP recovery if they deliver the final blow to an enemy. So that's kind of a cool little add-on there. Definitely a very, very good unit. Some pretty good links here too. Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race. Those are all very, very relevant links that are going to be really, really nice on like a Pure Saiyans team. Which they're on Pure Saiyans here. Gifted Warriors and Movie Bosses. That's the only downside here. The Broly units never have a ton of categories, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But Movie Bosses and Pure Saiyans are definitely top tier categories, so he is a great addition to those. Alright, so moving on here, we have got So this unit already exists in game, but he is actually getting an Extreme Z Awakening during the anniversary. Probably not in part 1. I think this comes in part 2 or 3 of the anniversary, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But you do have the ability to summon for this unit in part 1 to have them in preparation for their EZA later on. So they are going to be bringing 180% fusion category leader skill, which is awesome. That's going to be an insane category to run. There's so many fusions buffs coming in the anniversary, and already a lot of amazing units on that category. So that is going to be very, very exciting. So they raise attack and defense on super and on their 18 key super there. They've got 180% at the start of turn, medium chance to crit, medium chance to evade, and then they're getting additional key per rainbow key sphere. So not too bad. Their fusion conditions stay the same. So it's 50% when your HP is 50% or below, starting from the 6th turn. That condition is not as bad as it used to be. Before, you would never see this because there were no events that would last that long, especially with how hard these units were hitting. You would definitely finish the fights before you got to the 6th turn. But now, with some of these red zone stages and some of these longer form events, like the Dragon Ball History stages, you're definitely going to be seeing 6th turn. And, like, you know, the Legendary Goku event, Legendary Vegeta event, which there are new missions coming for the Legendary Goku and Vegeta events in the anniversary. So this unit is definitely going to be able to see their fusion condition activate there. So after they fuse into Super Gogeta here, they keep the attack and defense raise on 12 key. They're getting a great defense raise on 18 key, and greatly lowering attack and defense as well. So that's really good. They fully recover HP when you transform them, the same as they used to. Their attack's effective against all types, which is expected for a Gogeta unit. So they've got 200% stats at the start of turn, performs a critical hit when attacking, and high chance of evading for 3 turns. So guaranteed crits and 50% chances to dodge for the first 3 turns, and then they get a high chance to crit and a medium chance to dodge starting from the 4th turn. This unit's busted. Absolutely busted. They've got really, really good links here, and they're on a crap ton of categories, as you can see. A bunch of different really relevant categories, including Kamehameha. So they have a 200% leader skill that you can run them under, which is awesome. So yeah, this unit is absolutely broken. If you can get your hands on them, definitely do. Okay, so moving on to the next banner here, we've got the LR Super Saiyan 4s. So we're going to be taking a look at the 2 new units, obviously, and then these 3 units right here. The Super Saiyan 4s are going to get EZAs as well as the Int Vegito here. So let's start out with the LR Super Saiyan 4s here. They have got pretty much an identical kit to the LR Gods. They're very mirrored. So the main difference here at the beginning is they have the Fuse Fighter team, which is basically like the Potara category combined with the Fusion category. So it's any Fusion characters at all are going to be on this Fusion category, as well as some random select other units, like Super 17, for example. Technically, he is a Fusion unit. I think maybe even Piccolo should be on there. Any of the post-Namek Saga Piccolos, because he fused with Nail. I wonder if that counts. Actually, let's check really quick. I'm curious if there are Piccolo units on this. Yeah, there are. Okay, so Piccolo counts as a Fuse Fighter as well. And yeah, like Merge Zamasu, Android 13, right? So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a very, very good category. Okay, so... and then they do get the additional 30% buff for Kamehameha, so they're also a 200% Kamehameha leader. Okay, so they raised attack and defense on Super and their 18 key. Got their entrance animation as well. They are also guarding. They've got 77% for the first 7 turns, the same way as the other ones. And then 120% per type key sphere obtained, so the same as the other units. And then they've got crit chance with rainbow key spheres obtained. Okay, so the gods have dodge chance with with Rainbow Key Spheres, and they have crit chance. That's the difference there. But they're also launching an additional at 20, and then attacks effective against all at 24. So they're getting their fusion here that can be activated. Their fusion active skill can be activated starting at turn 4, where they will fuse into Gogeta here. And then they're getting great raises on attack and defense there, and then massive raises on their 18 key super. And this is another unit that has that disables enemy action once within the turn. So if you're using both of these units on the same team, if you have them on the same turn, and then potentially the friend leader could be one of these units as well, then that's 3 of these that you're potentially going to be able to do, right? So that is makes this ability much better when you're able to stack it together with multiple units doing it. For instance, if a unit was attacking you 3 times in the last slot, and all 3 of the units on rotation had this ability, then you could just nullify all 3 of their attacks. So that is really good. Okay, so they've got 177% stats at the start, additional 2 key, and then they have crit chance and damage reduction, 7% with each Rainbow Key Sphere. That is really, really good. Their attack's effective against all still. Medium chance to crit, high chance of launching an additional, and then they also have a high chance of countering as well. So this unit does everything as well. They are absolutely insane. And then the last part of their kit here is the active skill, where they're able to do the Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha. Again, same activation condition as the LR Gods. So that is very good. They've also got a lot of good links here. I think their link set is even better than the Gods. Reading through the kits, I think that this unit is going to be more impressive than the other unit. The active skill is, like, better, for sure. I think once you get to this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I'm not sure. So, the first phase of them seem really, really neck and neck. It's kind of a toss-up who's better. But after the active skill, I think the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is much better. He is just much, much more impressive. He's getting attack and defense raises here. The damage reduction is going to be really, really good. This damage reduction here with Rainbow Key Spheres is going to be very impressive to see. I mean, granted, it's hard to get any more than like 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, so you're only going to be seeing like 21% damage reduction, but that combined with the amazing amount of defense that they're going to have is going to be really good, especially considering that they have the high chance to counter on top of that. So yeah, this enemy, or this unit is absolutely insane, very, very impressive. And then on top of that, their link skills are better than the other link set for the LR Gods, for sure. I think every single one of these is a relevant link that you're going to want to have, especially GT here is really good. Once you get it leveled up to 10, you get that additional attack and defense, which is nice. And then Saiyan Roar, which is insane here. You get attack 25% and defense 10%. So if you're able to match them up with another Saiyan Roar unit, like another Super Saiyan 4, then they are going to be hitting very, very hard, for sure. And then again, they have a ton of relevant categories here as well, and they're on Kamehameha there. They've got the 200% lead, so very, very nice. Okay, we'll move on to the next unit here. The side banner unit for this banner, the Sin Shenron. So he's a GT boss's leader there, only 130%, but that's alright. So they raise attack and defense on super, supreme damage there, and then they have an interesting kit here. So they start out with attack and defense 100% at the start of turn, and then they are getting, so they're a Rainbow Key Sphere changer, which is perfect because that fits perfectly with their passive. The way their passive works is basically the more key you select, the more attack and defense you're going to be raising. So they're kind of like a nuking unit, but they have just like these big chunks of nuking, all the way up to 4 key spheres obtained, which is really easy to get. So you're going to be seeing all of these raises pretty much every turn. And then, let's see. So disabling guard, not a big deal. High chance to crit with 6 or more key spheres obtained, so that's nice. And then they're getting an additional raise here, and a high chance of launching an additional with 7 or more key spheres. 7 key spheres is not going to be hard to obtain with this guy being a Rainbow Key Sphere changer. The other thing you want to keep in mind is that the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s depend on Rainbow Key Spheres as well. So the fact that he changes to Rainbow Key Spheres is really, really good. That is going to be an insane ability to have alongside those units. Yeah, actually, I say that, but then the only category that they share is Shadow Dragon Saga. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to run this unit with them very often. So that is a bit of a bummer. I wish that this unit did have more categories because he's a really cool unit. I wish he had more places that he would be able to be used because he's got a pretty good link set as well. He is a big bad bosses unit, so that is really good. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this Sin. So we'll move on here. We're going to cover these guys last. Let's go ahead and do this first. So, the Int Super Vegito here. Again, this character's already available in-game, but he will be getting his EZA alongside the Physical Gogeta in Part 2 of the Anniversary, I believe. So he's bringing 180% leader skill to Potara, which is very, very good. He's raising attack and defense on Super, and on his 18 key, so he's got 180% stats at the start of turn, medium chance to crit, medium chance to evade, and then additional key for Rainbow Key Spheres, which is perfect. Okay, so again, same transformation conditions as before. So once they transform, they are getting the same stats here, and then great defense raises on 18 key, which is very, very nice, and they raise all allies' attack by 30%. Which is very good, because this unit can definitely be, used in slot 2. I wouldn't recommend using this unit in slot 1. You'll see why here coming up. But, so they are going to fully recover HP when you transform them. They get attack and defense 200% at the start of turn, and they counter normal attacks. Now, this is the only countering unit in the game that you don't need critical hits for. I think all other countering units, once you're facing like hard enemies, their counters don't do any damage unless you critical hit. This is the only unit that that's not true for. They hit so hard that they will definitely do damage no matter what. So that is something to consider. So this part of the passive is what I want to focus on. They reduce damage received for 30% for the first 3 turns. So for the first 3 turns, I think you could actually run them as a slot 1 unit. So that could be very, very good. Imagine you're here with them, right? Let's say you're towards the end of like the Legendary Goku event, okay? And you get hit really, really hard with the wrong unit. So now your HP is super low, okay? This unit comes on rotation. It's way past the 6th turn at the end of that event, right? So you pop the active skill really quick. You transform them. They fully recover your HP. So now you have 100% HP to work with. You throw them in slot 1, they're going to have 200% defense there, out the gate, and 30% damage reduction. Put them in slot 1, they're going to counter all the normal attacks with absolutely tremendous power. Believe me, it's tremendous. So they are going to be doing a lot of damage already. Then they're going to get off their 18 key super. They're going to greatly raise their defense, so if they're getting attacked after they attack, they're going to be taking literally no damage at all. Even if they get super attacked, they'll probably take no damage. And then they're also going to be raising the rest of the rotation, the rest of the rotation's attack by 30%. And so then the rest of the units on your rotation are going to be hitting really hard. That is an insane comeback that you have from getting hit really hard and almost dying. This unit alone is going to help you just reverse all of that. So I am super excited to be able to use this unit. They have some insane situations that they're going to be able to look good in. So past those first 3 turns, they reduce down to 15% damage reduction, which isn't the greatest, but it can help. Any little bit is nice. And then they're getting a ton of extra key for Rainbow Key Spheres, so that is very nice. They've got a pretty good link set here. Not as good as the Gogeta, I'd say, but definitely still some good links. Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, and Kamehameha. Very good links. And then, again, a lot of good categories here, as well as the 200% category that you're going to be able to run them on. They actually have multiple 200% teams here because they've got Majin Buu Saga as well. So very nice. Okay, so last but not least, we are going to look at... we do actually have a few more units to look at after here. I know we are getting kind of long here. We're 25 minutes in. I'll try and hurry this up for you guys, but we got a few more units to look at here. So we're going to take a look here at the Super Saiyan 4s. So they're getting their easy A's in the anniversary as well in part 2 or 3. So go away, go away. Oh my goodness, I did not want. Sorry, that text was not getting off the screen there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we now have a Goku family 180% leader skill. That is ridiculous. That is going to be one of the better leader skills in the game when it drops. So he is getting a massive raise of defense on super attack, and then raising attack for 1 turn. And he gets a massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn on Ultra Super. That is going to be so good. So he's got 140% stats at the start of turn. I am not surprised that that's not any higher because of these massive raises right here. He would be untouchable if this percent was any higher. Which is funny I mentioned that, because he's going to get additional attack each turn up to 60%. That isn't defense, though, just attack. But yeah, he is going to be hitting so hard, especially after he builds up this extra 60% there. Now, he gets an additional 2 key spheres with Rainbow or AGL key spheres obtained, and then an additional 1 for type key spheres. Okay, so yeah, basically he's going to get 24 key supers super easily. So he's got a medium chance of countering there, so 30% chance to counter, just like he had before he easy A'd. And then he's got this as well. Disable the enemy's action once within the turn when facing 2 or more enemies, or when activating the active skill. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. So, when facing 2 or more enemies when activating the active skill, or when performing a super attack when key is 24. So, he is definitely going to be getting easy 24 key supers because of this part of his passive right here with the additional key, right? So he is basically going to be doing this all the time. He is always going to be doing this. The LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s do this as well. So he is another unit that you're going to be able to run on those teams together, because again, he's on their teams, right? Yeah, that is an insane ability that I am excited to use, that little enemy nullification there. Okay, so then his active skill is just a big-ass Kamehameha, blap, and you only have to wait till turn 4 to use it, so that's a great active skill. Definitely going to hit very hard. So he is a super impressive unit. He's got some good links, Saiyan Roar there, hello, and all of these awesome categories. So very good. Now the Vegeta has a very similar kit. We're going to go through him a little quicker since it's almost the same thing. So 180% for Vegeta's family, and then he's got the massive attack raises. So this guy is more defense focused, so I'm kind of more excited to use him. Defense is definitely the meta these days. So he is getting these massive raises to attack and defense there, and then he's got 140% stats at the start, and then he gets this. He's getting some additional defense, as well as a little bit of additional attack there per turn. And then he's got the same key sphere, key sphere part of his passive here, the same medium chance to counter, and then he has this exact same ability here. So very good. And then he also has the exact same active skill, massively raising attack, doing an attack, and then causing ultimate damage starting from the 4th turn. He's got Saiyan Roar as well, some good links, and all of these awesome teams. He is actually not on the Kamehameha team, so that is a little unfortunate, but he is on... Oh, yeah, Gifted Warriors. So he is actually on the the Dokkan Fest Int Majin Vegeta's 200% team. So he does have a 200% team you can run him on. He's just not on Kamehameha. Okay. So now the last banner that we have to take a look at here is the Part 2 Top Legendary Summon banner. We are just going to be taking a look at the 2 new LRs here, the Kaioken Goku and the Great Ape Vegeta. So, the Kaioken Goku here, he's got All Out Struggle, Final Trump card, 150%. 150% is a little low for these days, so it's not the most amazing leader skill. Could be good for, like, Ultimate Clash or something like that. Okay, so he raises attack and defense on super, massively raises on his 18 key, sacrifices 4% HP, but that's, you know, nothing to be scared of. Okay, he's got a little entrance animation there, so he gets key 3 and attacks 70% for the rest of the battle when there's a Vegeta character. Let's see, when he's facing an enemy who's a Vegeta. Okay. So when he's going up against a Vegeta, he's getting these additional buffs for the rest of the fight. And then he's got baseline 100% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then an additional 7 key for 7 turns. Okay, pretty good. And then he also has this. This is the really, really good part. He's got additional attack and defense 59% on super attack, so that is going to allow him to hit very, very hard. And then he's got an additional attack 59%, just attack 59% if it's an ultra super attack. And he also changes key spheres, and he's got a high chance to crit built into his passive as well. Very, very good. And then he's got this active skill, Spirit Bomb, that he is going to cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and he stuns them. Wow, guaranteed stun on the active skill. That's very good. And you only have to be below 59% HP. So this guy is going to be amazing for the Legendary Vegeta event especially, right, because of this part. But then anywhere else, really, because he is just ridiculous. His stats are really, really high here. And he's got some good links. Saiyan Lineage is very good. Kamehameha, Legendary Power. Yeah. I guess Over in a Flash is good because he's an LR, so you'll be able to get him those 18 keys a little better. I guess it depends if you're running him with other Over in a Flash characters, that you're going to want to build an Over in a Flash team here for sure. He does have Shocking Speed as well, though, so that is nice. And then, yeah, he's got a ton of powerful categories, right? Any just Goku card is going to have, like, all of these insane categories. So he is looking very, very impressive. And then, finally, we have the Great Ape Vegeta here. So, Inhuman Deeds, Giant Ape Power, 150%. This is good, because this is actually the highest Inhuman Deeds leader that we have in the game. In fact, yeah, this is the highest all-out struggle that we have, I believe. Oh no, the Blue Boys actually have 150% to all-out struggle already. So yeah, the Inhuman Deeds, that is very, very good. Because I think that the Vegeta and Nappa is only 130% to Inhuman Deeds, so that's kind of cool. I'm hoping that that category will eventually get like a 170 lead. That would be nice. Or maybe even a 200% lead, who knows. Okay, so he raises attack, causes colossal damage to enemy, and then he has an AoE attack here on his Ultra Super. So I guess that can be useful for like Super Battle Road mainly. Not too bad there. Okay, so he has an entrance animation, and then he is getting Key 3 and attack 60% when there's a Goku enemy. So the opposite of what the Kaioken Goku does, right? So he's got Key 3 and attack and defense 100% at the start of turn, and then an additional attack and defense 60% when performing super attack. Very good. And then additional defense 60% when doing an ultra super attack. So this guy is much more focused around defense, whereas the Goku is much more focused around offense, right? This guy is also guarding all attacks. Wow, just flat out guards all attacks. There's no condition for that. He's just always going to be guarding. With all of his defense, wow, this guy is really, really good. He is going to be in a very impressive defensive unit for sure. That's probably why they didn't give him any defense raises in his super. After they made the mistake with the Tech Ultimate Gohan that greatly raises attack and defense and stacks infinitely and guards, yeah, they don't make that mistake anymore. Because that unit's going to be good basically forever. Okay, and then he gets an additional Key 3, attack 30% when guard is active. Okay, cool. So yeah, this unit is very, very good defensively, and then he's also got his Giant Ape thing here. So when HP is 40% or less, you're going to be doing the little Giant Ape transformation. And this guy actually, I think he hits pretty hard when he is in his Great Ape form. And then he's also got Key 5 there too, which is cool. That is definitely going to help him get off some of those super attacks, because you're going to have the 6 key from the leader skill, or, you know, potentially even 8 key, depending what team you're using. You could have like a 4 key leader skill like this, and then the additional 5 key. So it's going to be actually possible for him to get off some super attacks there. maybe even some Ultra Supers as well. So yeah, this unit is looking very, very good. Definitely a little more niche. I think he's going to be better in like Super Battle Road stages and things like that, where I think you can use the Kaioken Goku in more of the like long form events and more of the red zone stages especially. I mean, I suppose this guy will be good in long form events too. He just doesn't really build up. But yeah, so that is gonna do it. That is pretty much all of the new units that are coming. As far as the ones that are available to summon on. So hopefully, if you were undecided on which units to summon for, which banners to summon on, you have a better idea of where you want to spend your stones now. If you have any additional questions for me about you want me to clarify anything that we talked about in today's video, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll respond to you guys there. Throw a like on the video, helps me out greatly. Subscribe if you guys want to see more like this, because I'm going to be putting out tons of different guides for stuff coming out during the 7th anniversary. And thank you guys for sticking around and watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.